Hello, how you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. And I just want to make this video on this topic. This happened. I'm probably gonna upload it tomorrow. But this is this man responding to the January 5th on why a certain demographic of people wasn't a part of, which is black people that were not many did come out for this demonstration against Trump. And I'm going to show you his video, then I'm going to let you listen to it. Then I'm going to show you why some people didn't come out. But let's get to this video.
Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African American son in public school, you need this book, because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. Hello, Amka family. I hope you're doing well on this fine Saturday afternoon. So this video is me reacting to some of the commenters to my very last video, where I disagreed with folks advising African American people to sit out this national march that is occurring as I speak. So a lot of folks made comments, and some of those comments were in disagreement. In fact, most of them were in disagreement. So I'm reacting to those who disagreed with my video, and I have written out a statement, and I'm going to read that statement in the record. I want to be on the record regarding this matter. Okay? Now let's go to another screen and we will get started. So the title of this message is Why Sitting Out is Surrender. A response to the protest boycott logic. AMCA movement video. Alright, today masses of people have organized to show solidarity against Trump's anti-black, anti-America agenda. However, many African Americans decided to sit out this demonstration for various reasons, which is their right. I'll express my personal and professional reaction to this disengagement strategy. So this statement is the unified and official position of the Lazarus Law and Justice Project, LLJP, the Defiant Lawyers Network, and the AMCA movement. We reject all calls, whether direct or indirect, to sit out of national protests, public marches, or organized resistance to injustice. Whether rooted in disinformation or framed as strategic disengagement, the outcome is the same: silence, fragmentation, and diminished black influence. We affirm that peaceful protest, public presence, and national mobilization are not only protected by the First Amendment, but are essential tools in the fight for justice. History proves it. Political silence is not strategy, it's surrender. We urge our people to show up boldly, visibly, and together. We call on leaders to speak with courage, on youth to stand with conviction, and on every black voter, parent, pastor, and professional to stay in formation. We will not retreat. We will not be ignored. We are not optional. We are African Americans. We are essential. Our voices are needed. Now, let me say, I appreciate everyone who took the time to watch and comment on my last video. In that video, I challenged the idea that African Americans should boycott or sit out of the national hands-off protests. Many of you disagreed. Some said protesting is no longer effective. Others argued it's too risky. And a few suggested that since white and Latino voters helped put Trump back in office, it's their job to protest his agenda, not ours. This video, again, is my response. Not out of anger, or defensiveness, but because I believe clarity in moments like this is critical. With disinformation, fear, and confusion spreading unchallenged, our community loses direction and power. So today, I want to address the logic behind this sit-out strategy and explain why I believe it's deeply flawed and ultimately self-defeating. Let's start here. This isn't just about the hands-off protests. It's about public protests and marching in general. The entire ideal of showing up, being seen, and standing together in public is being questioned by more and more of our people. And that concerns me, because when we give up public protests, we're relinquishing one of the most valuable and powerful weapons our ancestors used to challenge power. We're turning our backs on an indispensable tool that helped desegregate schools, end Jim Crow, secure voting rights, and bring police violence into the national spotlight. Protests have never been the whole strategy, but it's always been a necessary part of it. Now let me explain why this is personal for me. I spent much of 2024 fighting disinformation aimed specifically at African Americans, particularly around voting, something called Vote the Couch. I pushed back hard on the lies telling us our vote doesn't matter, that both parties are the same, and that sitting out elections is some kind of strategic move. Now, we're seeing the same pattern again, but this time it's not just about voting, it's about protesting, marching, organizing publicly. And it's disheartening, because it feels like we didn't learn anything the first time around. It feels like we have allowed ourselves to be fooled twice. What's the old saying? If you fool me the first time, it's your fault. If you fool me the second time, it's my fault. And whether we realize it or not, this growing embrace of disengagement makes us look gullible, susceptible, and uninformed. That perception isn't just embarrassing, it's dangerous. It makes us an easy prey for those in power who are watching to see how we respond to Trump and MAGA's agenda. Not everyone who set out of the hands-off protests or who will sit out of future protests were misled by disinformation. Some made a conscious decision to disengage. They saw it as a tactic, a way to send a message. I've heard some say, we showed up in 2024, we voted for Kamala, we did our part. Now it's someone else's turn. That logic doesn't hold up. First, the numbers don't back up that logic. Here's why. The majority of Black Americans, including women, did not vote in 2024. The narrative that we carried the election isn't rooted in fact. You can't strategically withhold your power if you didn't fully use it in the first place. And more Black people didn't vote than Black people who did vote. Second, whether you were deceived or disengaged, the result is the same. We're not in formation. Our absence, no matter the reason, weakens our impact, weakens our voices. A fractured presence in moments of national protest sends Trump and MAGA the message that we're either afraid, indifferent, or complicit.
Now I'm going to show you, and he's a minister, he's a lawyer. Now I'm going to show you another lawyer disputing what is really going on. Dennis Sperling.
The more rotations you have around the earth, the more you learn. And if you can read books and read history, something that I enjoy doing and have always enjoyed doing for these years on this planet, then things become very clear. So I see things. You see, I see it because I've read, But again, if history has taught us anything, it's that white supremacy always breaks its tools when they become useless. if you've been paying attention, you can see it happening in real time. Joy Reid is gone. She was used to keep black voters in check. And the moment her ratings dropped, she lost influence, and she was thrown out like garbage. And Barack Obama is on his way out. He thought he could waltz back into the black community and demand obedience, but black men rejected him outright. His words no longer carry weight, and soon he'll be politically irrelevant, and so he'll be useless. And you're going to see the treatment he gets. Charlemagne the God and Stephen Smith, them two cats are scrambling to prove that they're still valuable. Most of these actors and entertainers don't know what the heck to do. Did you see how much money Kamala Harris gave to all these different entertainers just to show up and support her? And did it help? No. No. So all these people are scrambling. See, they don't believe, they don't even believe what they're saying. These so-called folk like Stephen A. Smith and Charlemagne the God. But, you know, they know the times are changing. And see, it doesn't matter if you're a black liberal or a conservative. If you're serving white supremacy, okay, which goes against the interests of your own people, and this is for anybody around the world, okay, recognize that your time is limited. Now, for these far-right black conservatives, okay, who are mocking and degrading and tearing down their own people for clicks and views, you walking directly into the same trap. You don't think the white liberals and the white conservatives have the same trap set up? They got the same blueprint. I see it happening right now. You got this man from Fresh and Fit called Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines is over there spewing, promoting and degrading black women. I'm not talking about loving critiques. I'm talking about promoting the worst stereotypes. Same thing he does with black men. And he's spewing this anti-Jewish rhetoric, which is going to get him nowhere quick. Same thing with Candace Owens, attacking Jewish people, attacking black people. Completely unaware that the same conservative forces she aligns with will turn on her. You see these black YouTube so-called conservatives, right? Repeating white nationalist talking points, laughing at struggles of their own people, thinking they're safe because they have an audience. And I know Candace Owens is Caribbean, and I know Myron Gaines is East African. But as far as white folk concerned, y'all are all N-words. And that's how they see it. And they're using both of them as a tool. But see, they won't be safe for long because that's not how this system works. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how famous you are, or how long you've been useful. When white supremacy no longer needs you, you get discarded. Let me give you the play-by-play, okay? Let me tell y'all how it goes. You heard it here first. All right, so they use you to control your own people. You become a mouthpiece. You become the face, the voice that convinces black people to stay in line. Or you sway them to do something. You get a media platform. You get endorsement deals. You get invitations to the White House. You made to feel special. You're a special little chocolate chip. I would say snowflake, but we ain't white. Special little chocolate chip. You're above the rest of the little chocolate chips. Number two, after they use you to control your people, they make sure you alienate your own people. You start to distance yourself. Oh, I'm not like those black people. I'm not like those foundational black Americans. I'm not like those black women. I'm not like those black men. Oh no. You start talking down to those same people. You adopt their rhetoric.
With his authoritarian agenda, and make no doubt about it, this is about resisting authoritarianism. Third, the movement movement moved without us. That should concern every serious organizer. The hands-off protest proved that it could mobilize without significant black participation. That doesn't reflect our power. Actually, it reflects our marginalization. Disengagement, when it isolates us, is not strategic. Again, it's surrender. It gives away leverage. It lets others decide outcomes while we watch from the sideline. Black power only matters when it shows up early, loud, and united. So here's the truth. We stand to lose the most. We, African Americans. Trump's agenda is anti-black. And we're not making our voices heard on a national level today. If Trump and the MAGA movement succeed in consolidating power, it won't be white voters who pay the highest price. It'll be black voters. It won't be the wealthy elites. It will be us, black families, black schools, black workers, black children. When civil rights rollback come, we're the ones who will feel it first and feel it deepest. When the Supreme Court guts protections, when states ban black history, when the police are given more power to surveil and detain us, again, it's our community that bear the brunt. Someone once said, when America catches a cold, black America gets pneumonia. And yet, in the face of that reality, some are arguing that the best response is silence or inaction, sitting out in national protests. Let me now respond directly to what I believe are the four main arguments that I have heard. The first argument is that protesting is too dangerous, that Trump might use it as an excuse to declare martial law. Now, that very well could happen. I don't know. I know that the man certainly want to use the Insurrection Act or declare martial law. He talked about it in 2020, so I can't say that that won't happen. But here's what I can say. Peaceful protest is still protected under the Constitution. Also, our ancestors didn't stop protesting. When governors threatened them, when police brutalized them, or when white mobs waited to attack them, they still marched. If we let fear of what might happen dictate our actions, we're handing Trump a victory without him having to lift a finger. Second argument, let whites and Latinos do the protesting. So, that sounds logical until you realize it ignores reality. While it's true that most white voters supported Trump, and many Latinos did as well, again, the truth is that millions of black voters set out the 2024 election. Also, Trump made significant gains among black men voters, especially those under 45. The margin of victory didn't come just from white voters or just from Latino voters. It came from our own disengagement, which is what we are contemplating now, many of you. We helped create this moment, whether we want to admit it or not. And if we sit out now, we're not punishing anyone but ourselves. The third argument says we should focus on using our dollars instead of protesting. I'm all for economic pressure. But let's be real. Economic pressure without visibility rarely works. The Montgomery bus boycott succeeded not just because people stopped riding buses, but because they walked miles together, they protested, they marched, they organized carpools, they endured arrest, and kept the issue in the public eye. Economic boycotts only work when they are backed by public disruption and clear demands. I recommend that you read Dr. King's letter from a Birmingham.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Let's go to Philip Scott. Let's see what he says about this. And
if you're a Christian, middle-class American between the ages of 30 and 70, and you're looking to earn some extra
And black people trying to learn a line dance with fans. If you know why, it's this. We have entered into a phase of, look, we done all we need to do. We done said all we need to say. And if you know a thing called a swan song, look it up. Black people already sung these swan songs. There's nothing more that we can do. We have sacrificed for America. We have prayed for America. We have taken America's, criticism, lies, deceit. We have taken America sabotaging us. Anything that we have, we literally fought for and died for. What more do we really need to say? What more protesting do we need to do? Think about that. What more protesting we need to do at this point? We don't need to protest. We don't need to sing. We don't need to shout. They keep saying, black people, why don't y'all come out there and protest? We did that already. What do we get out of it? So what we're focusing on now, and I'm loving this about us, we're focusing more on self-care. Self-care, having fun, planning our vacations, doing whatever we're doing. We're actually happy about that, right? And we're going to do that. We're going to do that, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to be sitting up here worrying about what these folks got going on. Because, when a person, and you probably experience this probably in relationships, when you just do something for a person and do something, and they didn't ask, they didn't reciprocate, what happens? They treat you even worse. And they disrespect you because you never really made them do anything for you. And that's what we have done as black Americans for a very long time. Excuse me, give me some coffee. All right, that was good. Nobody really reciprocated. So now we minding our own business, and that's good. Leave us alone. People are planning their summer vacation right now. People not worrying about what Trump got going on. Who cares what Trump and Elon Musk is doing? I'm gonna keep saying that. When they start doing something specifically affecting us as FBAs, when they start doing that, I'm gonna look into it. And Trump hasn't done no laws or executive orders that specifically targeted us. But the immigration is affecting, black immigrants. He's doing this to affect black people. We are good. We are so good. We are so chill. Black Americans do not, hear me, do not get off your square. What you're doing is God ordained. Let me tell you that. God has called you out to come out from among them. Understand? To come out from among them and be in your restful place. And then the Lord is doing his work. This is why you see listen, because you went and sit down, this is what's happened. Let me teach you. Other groups are feeling the weight of America now that we were bearing up. See, we was carrying the weight of America on our back. This is why we always dying of high blood pressure, diabetes, this, that we're having, because we're so beat down, our immune system can't work right. On top of dealing with their racism, that's what's really been happening to us. And now, since we removed ourselves, and now the other groups get to see what America is really about, now they're circling back around on the same app and saying, hey, black people, I see what you're talking about now. But when we was carrying that cross, you didn't care, right? When we told you the jobs was going away, when we told you the food was bad, we told you that the politicians suck, we told you all of that, you didn't want to listen. You want to call us lazy and all of that. Now you're crying that you're losing your job now. How does it feel to lose your job? Oh, Donald Trump and Elon Musk taking our jobs. Yeah. Donald Trump and Elon Musk were taking all our jobs for years. You know how many times we've been fired? They're like, I'm fired today? Look, we're so used to being fired. They're like, oh, okay, cool. We don't get my last check. We don't even trip on it. All that y'all crying about in America right now, the folks especially, when I say the folks, you know what I'm talking about. Especially you. You crying and all that. You the main one calling us lazy. The main one. Hey, stop being lazy then. Stop being lazy. What you crying for? Stop crying for handouts, right? That's what we were told for years as black Americans, stop crying for handouts. I want to see how y'all gonna deal with what y'all created. Cause see the folks, y'all created this mess, and we've been saving you from it. Now, the black man and woman of America, now we said, okay, deal with it. And other groups outside the folks, the rest of you, we've been shielding y'all too. When y'all do stuff, they come at us. There's always us. Y'all walked on our backs, literally walked on our backs to get the little quote-unquote success that a lot of you have. And at the same time, a lot of you are anti-black too. A lot of you all that come into this country. And now you're starting to see that a little proximity to the folks that you fought so hard for, now you're like, get away from me. Because see, what protected your proximity was them focusing on us. So as long as we around, you can go team up with them and say, yeah, I don't like them black people either. Right? And now since we done moved out the way, and now they got to deal with you, they looking at you like, what you around me for? Like, I only had you around here because you to help me attack them. But now since they not around, what I need you around here for, man? Move around. Like, matter of fact, what you even doing in this country? Black people, look what they're doing. Black people, they started with us, but you're next. No. It's your turn. We always number one. And we will continue to stay in the position that we're in if we jump out there. And so it's like this, any black person, they're like, well, we can't sit down forever. We can sit down as long as the Lord put in our heart and our ancestors like us to sit down too. These people haven't appreciated a freaking thing we ever did for them in this country. Didn't appreciate it. No, relax yourself, rest. Focus on self-care. Go see your doctor. Some of you brothers and sisters ain't seen a doctor in years. Go to your doctor, get a physical, run your labs, okay? And whatever the doctor tell you, work with your doctor and help heal yourself. If he say or she say lose some weight, get on your tip, lose some weight, stop eating bad food, do all of that, right? Go see your dentist, okay? Go see your dentist so you can check your oral health. Get all your screenings. If you're 45 and up, then get your colonoscopy, and all that you need. You have to go to a gastro doctor for that. Get it done, black people. Ladies, go to your OBGYN. Go see them every year. If anything is off, go see them. If you need some therapy, go see a therapist to help you process your issues. It's our time now to relax. It's our time to focus on self-care. It's our time to focus on our kids. We fighting for all these other groups of people all freaking day, and we're not focusing on our kids. We're not focusing on our relationships. We're not focusing on anything else. With all these other men always beat down and tired. Forget that. Let them other groups be beat down and tired for a while. We're gonna take the same position they took. They wouldn't worry about nothing. They wouldn't worry about a thing. Look what Trump did. I don't care what he do. I don't care. You deal with it. It's not my problem.
Well, so the answer to the first video about this misinformation, he just laid out the facts right there. And Mr. Sperling laid out some facts too.
Rhetoric. Their priorities, their agenda. You enforce their rules. It protects you. It's both liberals and conservatives doing the same thing. That's what I need y'all to understand. And see, the moment you lose influence, they abandon you. Once your people stop listening to you, you are useless. Your media deals dry up. You get kicked off YouTube, etc., whatever. Your political allies stop returning your calls. You become disposable. And then they attack you. They bring up old allegations. They find a scandal. If they can't find one, they're going to make it up. They strip you of everything you built. And now you have no people to defend you because you've abandoned your own black people. That's how the game goes. You all know the examples. One of the biggest examples is Bill Cosby. He was America's dad. He was making millions. And then for whatever crazy reason, he just started to jump out the box and start blaming black people for our struggles, parading around like a gate. The man went on the tour, okay, being a moral gatekeeper. Told us to pull our pants up and stop complaining about racism. But when white America turned on him, who defended him? Nobody. We spoke a little bit about it, but we wasn't in the streets because he abandoned his own people. Because he abandoned us first. It does not matter if you are a liberal or a Democrat. If you find yourself speaking reckless about black folk, those are your people. You got to learn to speak to your people from a place of love. That's why I tell y'all, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you to vote your interest. I'm here to tell you I love you. I'm here to tell you I support you. I love you despite yourself. That's why I support that boy, what's that boy's name? Aaron Sloan. That's why I support that boy. Same thing I did for Kevin Samuels. Same thing I did for so many other black folk that you all don't know about. If you're going to speak to your people, you got to speak to your people and put life into them. See, I don't have a side. I'm neither Democrat or Republican, even though I'm a registered Democrat and have been my entire life. I'm on the side of black people. Period. Whatever side, we need to, what's good for us. And that's where you need to be. See, O.J. Simpson thought he could transcend race by marrying that white woman and by living a life that ignored the realities of being black in America. And then when they came for him, you know, we didn't really care. We was happy to see O.J. We was happy to see Johnny Cochran get justice or win in court, but we were really rooting for Johnny Cochran. We wasn't necessarily rooting for O.J. Because see, O.J. had proven that he was no longer one of us. Just like Barack Obama, just like Joy Reid, just like Bill Cosby, just like Candace Owens and that other boy, what's his real name? Myron what? Mustafa? Whatever his name is. Okay?
I mean, in the end, that's really what we're doing, is we're like, hey, I can make a couple $1 million.
There you have it. The breakdown of why. So this answers to the question of what the elder brother, Defiant Lawyer, is saying. Is because of these issues. And not only that, the reason why is because there is another agenda behind it. Then when it comes to politicians, they have a certain attitude too. They have a certain degree of attitude, and they sellouts too. And that's another reason why. I'm gonna show you a video where she's a well-known woman. But I'm gonna play a little bit of her video on Cory Booker.
There are a number of people that are applauding Cory Booker for speaking for 25 hours. I gotta admit, that shit's impressive. I can't do it. He broke Strom Thurmond's record for the filibuster. But was it really a filibuster? There's a number of people who are talking about the things that he did say, but they're not talking about what he did not say. And that's what we're going to get into here. Nina Turner had a really good point. Technically, this is not a filibuster because it's not blocking any specific nominee or legislation. I'll repeat. Technically, this is not a filibuster because it's not blocking any specific nominee or legislation. Thank you. Yeah. But that's what corporate media, everybody was calling a filibuster. What Cory Booker was doing is he was speaking against Donald Trump's agenda, but not a specific piece of legislation or a nominee, just speaking out against Donald Trump's agenda. And I keep saying that because when I tell you what he did not talk about, that is going to be important. So that's what Cory was doing there. We're going to go into some of the conversation here after him talking. And Cory, to me, it just,
Would you be?
Cory, to me, is just always so fake. Like, I swear to God, if there was an Oscar for politicians, Cory would probably win that. I met Cory Booker in 2020. I saw him speak in New Hampshire. He was running for president then, and that's really what this is about, folks. Don't get it twisted. This is really Cory Booker trying to make himself look like, hey, I should be the one that you should want to run for president in 2028. That's really what I think this is about. Just keeping it real. But I saw Cory, and I've never seen someone so fake before in my life. First of all, you don't have to do this to me every time you're speaking, You really ain't gotta do that. They want to convince you of this. And for the black folks, they want you to vote for him because he's black. That's it. That's it. Even though you see who he chose to prioritize when he spoke for 25 hours, right? They want you to vote for this guy who is sitting up there taking all this money from AIPAC. And that's just some of it. He's very corporate. There's nothing grassroots about Cory. How much he's received from the pro-Israel lobby. They want you to believe that this guy who actively went to an AIPAC meeting and told them how to recruit black people, they want you to believe that this is the person that's going to look out for the black community. And I can hear it right now, God damn it. You should vote for Cory Booker because he's black. He's black just like you. Didn't we do this with Barack Obama? How'd that work out? Who did he look out for? Cory Booker don't care about you. Cory Booker cares about his own political career. They want you to believe that this guy who was willing to sell you out to these Zionists, they want you to believe that he is going to be best for the black community. Watch him in action.
A couple more questions. One more question, Barry. Barry says, Barry has spoken. There's a lot of pressure. Last question. You spoke a lot about hope, and obviously you are someone who is very pro-Israel. You also heard beautiful remarks about some of the students on traditionally black colleges, leadership, and things like that. But could you give us your own evaluation of the African American leadership in the United States, and what is their feeling about Israel? And because oftentimes locally outside of work, we find that there is becoming greater identification not with the history of Israel and what Israel's become, but the sufferings of the Palestinians without any really understanding of the history of Israel.
So let me pause here for a second. This is them openly admitting that the Palestinians are suffering. Openly admitting that in this AIPAC meeting. And they have this clown, Cory Booker, up there, and Cory Booker is supposed to help them get black people to move away from the Palestinian people and support the cause of Israel. They want people who have been oppressed to move away from other people who have been oppressed to support the oppressor.
This is a hidden gem that people don't.
Well, Sabrina laid it out right there. So this is the reason why black people don't come out and vote. Didn't want to come out this time and vote. This is one of the reasons why they didn't come out and go to that demonstration. The guy who's a Defiant Lawyer, if he'd kind of watch some of these videos and see why, he couldn't dispute it. Because Miss Sabrina, she gets facts. Dennis gets facts. Phil he got a team that gets facts that will back up the truth. This is the reason why that as this video, as of April 5th, this Saturday evening, it was Saturday afternoon when this happened, that the protest, that's the reason why most African Americans didn't come out to vote. Because it displayed what type of people is going on. And he mentioned about the Black Lives Matter. Well, the grassroots found out what the Black Lives Matter was really about. It wasn't about black family. It was about sexuality. Sensuality. But they used to push another group's agenda. Even though they used 3 black women that were part of that community. And there was a group backing that group up. And then there was money misfunded in Black Lives Matter that didn't go to no grassroots. It didn't go to the families of George Floyd or Breonna Taylor or those other people. Did Mr. Defiant Lawyer didn't see that. That's the reason why. And for people, in just like the Democrat, like I said, it don't matter a Republican or Democrat, but Democrats, Kamala is a Democrat, Barack Obama is a Democrat, Cory Booker is a Democrat. Of course, you have the black Republicans, like Brian Donald, a few other ones. What's that guy, Tim Scott? Yes, they got their part to handle too. So that's why black people. So go back to the question: why do black people set this out to the African American community? Because no matter what, no one's come in agreement to solve the problem. And if Mr. Defiant Lawyer didn't understand about what happened to the people in Chicago, they had a Democrat mayor that prioritized other people for his own citizens over Chicago. That's why they played a certain part in electing Donald Trump. That brought in Tom Homan. And a lot of people on TikTok didn't realize that, and people were making these videos. New Yorkers did this under Biden. Biden didn't do anything. Kamala wasn't going to do anything about the border. The only time she went down to the border is when she got closer to election, when they was having an extreme problem. And most people voted for Trump because there were people come up here, criminals and different people in the organization was infiltrating the United States. This was all facts. People getting all emotional. But America asked them to clean it up. This was facts. So we had the problem with the border. Also, you had a problem with, they want to pass legislation to allow biological males be females to compete with females. Then they was pushing agenda with young children, youngest adolescents and to younger, to get puberty blockers. That was on the Democrat side. So you gotta pick your poison on which you want to vote for. So that's all what I'm saying. So the people, we would have the first black woman, but the first black woman was, so-called black woman was pushing anti-family. in the black community, dividing up the sexes between black men and black women. And if in other cultures, probably it was going that direction too. But people they get all emotional because what they see now they go on TikTok making videos on who should vote, but no one is paying attention to the whole thing. I'm not saying vote because I know what Trump is doing is wrong too. But you have to use logic. That's why some people voted the couch. Because they saw it was doomed from left to right. So some people didn't vote for Kamala and some people didn't vote for Trump. That's how Trump was able to win. So you can't blame it on either party. And it was best wise that you probably didn't tell because you would be ostracized. And people are crazy on it. So some people kept it to themselves in different communities. Not just the black community, but also other communities. Because they knew how people were going to act. So, yeah. But what the first guy was saying, no one's falling for that. The people, what you used to pull on people back in the day, you can't do that no more. There's so much information out there now on who, what, and research, and that's what some people do on social media all day. And they bring out the research on what's behind what. And then who's funding the money to fund these organizations. She just revealed who's behind this politician, Cory Booker. So when you reveal the truth and the world sees it, then then you find out who comes to sell out. And so sometimes you gotta take your emotions up out of it. And some people on TikTok, obviously some of them don't do too much research. Their voice, they ping and no matter what, yeah, Trump is racist, but so was Biden. Even though he has so-called black vice president, a black Secretary of State, but he was kind of prejudiced too. Didn't he tell black people, a group of black leaders, I don't know what you guys will. However you work it out between you and the Latinos, you got to work that out between each other. And didn't he tell Charlemagne the God that if you told his audience, if you don't vote me, you're not black? He didn't apologize for that. And then Kamala ran as a team. Imagine someone telling you what you experience every day, being a black man and a black woman in America, that you're not black unless you vote for me. Or you're a black elder or a black child. This is what a Democrat president said that. So that's why I said before, him and Trump, even though they don't like each other, they pretty much the same. They both knew segregationists. They both did some questionable things in the past. Biden was the one that was okay with the 94 crime bill when it came to separate part about the drugs. On cocaine, if you were white, black, you get crack, you get 20, 30 years. They were okay with that. He was okay. This is on the Democrat side. This was on the Democrat. And at one point they said Donald Trump, before he became Republican, he was a Democrat. Black folks don't know that. So everybody getting all emotional and don't see the bigger picture. At the end of the day, like they say, do your research like these people do. And yes, you have the right not to vote, because either way, it's corrupted. Then you see how the way the hand moves to control who, what, and when, and how to keep your people in line. Did the guy, the Defiant Lawyer, understand this? He probably don't think much about it. That's why black people are not just it's easy to find that information. You don't have to be educated, college educated, to find out. Do some research on an organization, on who, what, and where. And when people bring the truth, you can't dispute it. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoy this video. Like and subscribe. But yeah, this is the reason why black people didn't come out to vote. And come out to vote, and they didn't come out for that demonstration. There you have it. Take care. See you on this video.